Did you guys hear about the firefighter that actually caused this accident? He was under the influence of alcohol, marijuana, cocaine, and he's actually out on bond on a $50,000 bond, which means he only paid about $10K. Let me show you guys what the car looked like before. This is 23-year-old Justin Diaz. According to reports, around 4:15 a.m., he's driving to work, and Michael Pena, that firefighter, apparently blew past a red light. You're going to see the accident happen now. I'm going to break down exactly what transpired. According to the charges, at approximately 4:15, Pena, the firefighter, was behind the wheel of a silver Mercedes-Benz coupe, traveling eastbound on Northern Boulevard at 83 miles per hour. When he again blew past a steady red light at 107th Street and slammed into the purple 2022 BMW 240 driven by Diaz. Again, he was on his way to work at LaGuardia Airport. The force of impact sent his car into a parked vehicle. EMS rushed him immediately to Elmhurst Hospital with severe trauma. However, he was pronounced dead due to his injuries just a short while later. Now, Pena stayed at the scene where a police officer states that he observed him to be in an intoxicated state with a strong odor of alcohol in his breath, watery eyes, slurred speech, and was unsteady on his feet. Mind you, he had a blood alcohol content of 0.156, which is above the legal threshold, which is 0.08. So almost double the legal limit of alcohol. On top of that, he also had cocaine and marijuana in his system. So he's driving 3 times the legal limit speed-wise. He had in his system double the legal limit of alcohol and cocaine and marijuana. But he got out on bond, $50,000 bond, which is nothing. He even told the officers, I had 3 drinks. They were basil drinks. I was at a bar on Bourbon Street and Bayside. I was there from 6 to midnight. I went to another bar, and then we left another bar a few minutes before the collision. Okay? Now, he was off duty at the time. He is accused of driving under the influence, running a steady red light, and slamming into a 23-year-old. So let's talk about specifically about his charges, because the current charges that he has, he faces up to 15 years in prison. He's being charged with manslaughter in the 2nd degree, vehicular manslaughter, and other related crimes for speeding through a red light. Now, on top of this, not only was he reckless and murdered someone, but there was also 2 people in his car that had to be transported to the emergency room to also get checked because they also suffered injuries. Now, mind you, his next court date is not until May. We are in March. And the fire department suspended him without pay for 28 days while the case is ongoing. I have to say, this is pretty much, I'm trying to think about this, but this is pretty much the first time that I have seen a DUI that has caused the death of another, that has been confirmed that it was like there was alcohol in the system and marijuana and cocaine, and they've been let out on bond. Because even, oh my God, Jamie Kurakowicz, I can't think of her name, Kowalski, I apologize. Yep, I'm mispronouncing her last name. She was kept without bond for a year and was only released on bond because the judge told them, you guys need to bring charges. It's been a year. If you're not moving forward, you have until March to bring this to court. If not, I have to let her out on bond. And then she'll just go to court after that. And that's exactly what they did. But you're telling me a few days later, he was out on bail. So guys, please remember this face. Keep this gentleman's family in your prayers. I am going to include the GoFundMe below because they are raising funds for his funeral. Whoever wrote this article, y'all are messy, and I like it. If you aren't aware of who this is, I'm going to explain it to you. This is Michael Pena, and on February 26th, he apparently went bar hopping. Around 4 a.m., he was driving 85 miles an hour, specifically 60 miles over the speed limit. Justin Diaz had left his home a few minutes earlier. He was on his way to LaGuardia Airport because he was trying to get overtime. He worked in baggage claim. Now, Justin had just graduated from college with a degree in aeronautics, and I apologize if I'm saying that incorrectly, and was studying to be an airplane mechanic. Had his whole future ahead of him. Unfortunately, Michael here didn't care. He plowed into Justin after passing a red light. Didn't even stop for the red light. Justin's car crashed into another vehicle that was parked, and shortly thereafter at the hospital, Justin died. Now, Michael Pena had actually joined the fire department in March of 2024, so he was still a probationary firefighter, and he was fired. Now, what's interesting is that they say that because he was a probationary firefighter, they didn't have to wait until the verdict. So you're telling me that if you're a firefighter and you clearly unalive someone, you get to stay there until a verdict? And what's interesting about all of this is that Michael Pena declined a breathalyzer. So they had to get a warrant. And when they drew his blood, they not only found alcohol, they found cocaine and marijuana. And in fact, there is surveillance showing that he had his first drink at 6 p.m., 11 hours prior to this accident. Now, there is surveillance showing that after the accident, he failed to even help Diaz, which is something that usually an emergency worker would do. They'll automatically react and go help. And he told police, according to Diaz's brother, the first words out of his mouth after he hit my brother when cops got there, I hit him, I ran the red light, and I'm a firefighter. You were. You were. And of course, they found his OnlyFans. And according to his OnlyFans, under the handle, I'm Mike LV, Pena posts frequent shirtless shots showing off his abs, arms, etc. And someone posted in the family group that is called Justice for Justin Diaz, the fact that he was active even after the. According to the fire department, Pena was fired because members take an oath and swear to conduct themselves in a manner that will not bring reproach or discredit to the department. But you all just said that unless there was a verdict, you have to wait. But because he's a probationary, he gets fired. That is insane to me. He is out on bond, specifically $50,000 bonds, which means he paid $5,000 to get out on bond. And as you can imagine, the family is extremely upset about this. There are comments that he was seen at a different bar the week after. There's comments saying that, you know, he is active on OnlyFans right now. Well, maybe that's his only source of income. However, he should not have been released. Justin Diaz's family needs your help and support. They have created a petition on change.org asking for bail reform. You'll see on February 26th around 4 a.m., 23-year-old Justin Diaz was on his way to work at LaGuardia Airport. He worked for Delta and, well, he wanted to go in a little bit earlier to get a few hours of overtime. What he did not expect was that a New York firefighter, specifically Michael Pena, was going to be going 83 miles an hour where the speed limit was 25 miles an hour, and he was going to speed right past a red light, ramming into him, causing him to ram into another vehicle. He was transported to the hospital where he passed. Michael Pena did not even try to save his life. He did not run out of the car, check if he was okay. Police arrived and immediately he said, oh my gosh, yeah, I ran the red light, I hit him, and I'm a firefighter. He also declined a breathalyzer. So, of course, they got a warrant and they did a blood test. The blood test showed that he had double the legal limit of alcohol in his system, in addition to drugs, marijuana and cocaine to be specific. Surprisingly, because I have no other words, he was let out on a $50,000 bond, which means he only had to pay 10% of that, $5,000, and he was free to go. until his trial, well, not his trial date, but they have hearings. His hearing date is going to be, I'm pulling April 17th at Queens Criminal Court at 9:45 a.m. As you can imagine, the family is extremely upset that someone who is a firefighter, regardless if he was a probationary firefighter at the time, is not held to higher standards. And regardless, at the end of the day, he caused the unalivement of someone. So to be given a $50,000 bond is insane. Let me read a little bit of this petition to you all. My cousin Justin Diaz was unalived on February 26th by someone that was drunk and high. The driver remarkably, a New York firefighter, had his bail set at $50,000 and was released by paying only $5,000. He now enjoys the comfort of his home as my cousin rests in a coffin. Due to a bail reform, remanding individuals is no longer at the discretion of judges. Now let's talk about the charges that he's currently facing so you can grasp the whole $50,000 bond not making sense. He is currently being charged with manslaughter in the second degree, vehicular manslaughter in the second degree, assault in the second degree, operating a motor vehicle while under the influence of alcohol or drugs, and related charges. If convicted of just the top count alone, he faces up to 15 years in prison. Again, $50,000 bond, only had to pay $5,000 with these charges. Make it make sense. Please sign the petition. Help this family get justice somehow. I do believe that bond needs to be reformed. I talk about this all the time. The amount of people that are out on bond is insane to me. And then the people that didn't pay their ticket for 90 days are in there for 3 years. I don't get it. I don't understand it. So please check out the link. Please go inside. Talk to you soon.